time I am troubled by a storm of burden in my life. Every time I am troubled by a storm of burden in my life. Your name alleviates my pain, Habibi ya Rasulallah. Your name alleviates my pain, Habibi ya Rasulallah. Habibi.
Nahmaduhu wa nusalli wa nusallimu ala sayyidina wa maulana Muhammadin Rasulihin Nabiyyil Aminil Makinil Haninil Kareemir Raufir Rahim. Amma ba'd. Fa'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nara. Sadaqallahu Mawlana al-Azim. Honorable guests and great ulama, scholars and students and dear sons and daughters and respectable audience and participants. By the grace and blessings of Almighty Allah, we are going to read and transmit some of traditions, some spiritual transmissions which have been related by Imam Ibn Qudamah in his book Kitab-ul-Riqqati wal-Buka. This is the book at the moment which I am holding, and in the last session I am giving a lesson from Kitab-ul-Riqqati wal-Buka. This great book on spirituality and on renunciation and on weariness has been written by the great Imam Muwaffaq-ud-Din Abdullah bin Ahmad bin Qudama al-Maqdisi al-Hanbali, and he has been the student, one of the most famous students of Sayyidina al-Ghawsul Azam, Shaykh Abdul-Qadir al-Jilani radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. He has been his student, Imam Ibn Qudama al-Maqdisi al-Hanbali. And he wore khirqah of tasawwuf from Sayyidina Shaykh Abdul-Qadir Jilani himself. And he is known to be, I would say he is wrongly known to be, one of the prominent Salafi scholars and muhaddiseen. Some people consider him in the list of Salafi scholars by mistake. But the position, his position is that he was a murid, a disciple, and he received the khirqah of tasawwuf, of suluk, from Sayyidina Ghawsul Azam Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani. He says, Al-Basani khirqatan. This is one aspect of his career, academic career. Other aspect, very interesting, is that he is grand Shaykh of Allama ibn Taymiyyah. He is great grand Shaykh of Allama, great grand Shaykh of Allama ibn Taymiyyah. This is other aspect of his personality. And he is the one who is author of Ar-Rawdah fi Usul al-Fiqh and Al-Umdah and Al-Kafi fi al-Fiqh al-Hanbaliyya and Lum'atul I'tiqad and Al-Mughni Sharh Mukhtasar al-Khiraqi and Al-Mizan fi Usul al-Fiqh. He is known to be the great Imam of Al-Fiqh al-Hanbaliyya. Great Imam of Fiqh al-Hanbaliyya. And he was given the title of Shaykh-ul-Islam. He was born in 541 Hijrah. His book Kitab-ul-Riqqa wal-Buka, I'm quoting from this book. He relates through Muhammad bin Yazid bin Khunais, and from him Sayyid bin Sulaiman al-Wasiti relates on his authority. First of all, Sayyid bin Sulaiman, and he relates all traditions with complete, continuous asanid, chains of authority. Every single tradition he quotes is with continuous authority, chain of authority. Bil asanid al-muttasila, ala tariq al-muhaddisin. And Imam Sayyid bin Sulaiman al-Wasti relates from Muhammad bin Yazid bin Khunais, and he relates from Abdul Aziz bin Abi Rawad. And Abdul Aziz bin Abi Rawad, he was one of the great Atba'ut Tabi'een who died in 159. And Imam Abdullah bin Mubarak said that whenever he used to speak and deliver the lecture, you would see the tears on his face and cheeks. He was amongst the great worshippers, renouncers. This Abdul Aziz bin Abi Rawad, his actual name is Abdul Aziz bin Maymun bin Abi Rawad bin Badr al-Makki. And he was a Siqa Imam of Hadith. This is stated by Imam Yahya bin Sa'id al-Qattan. And same is declared by Imam Abdullah bin Mubarak about him. So this is a great, reliable and Siqa authority on Hadith. Imam Ibn Qudama has related on his authority, and he says, when this Quranic verse, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nara, verse number 6 of Surah At-Tahrim was revealed, that, O believers, you should save yourself and your family and children from the hellfire. You should work hard to save yourself and your family from hellfire. When this verse of Holy Quran was revealed, he says, Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in the company of the companions. They were sitting in the company of Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam qara'aha Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ala ashabihi. He recited this verse on his companions. This lesson of today will serve two things. One, of course, to open the fountain of spirituality and spiritual relationship to Almighty Allah through this lesson of suluk. Secondly, to establish that all spiritual states and conditions which the tasawwuf and tariqah and haqiqah is based on, they were not introduced, or they were not innovated, or they were not concocted, and they were not fabricated, and they were not infiltrated by the scholars or the Sufiya or the saints or saintly people afterwards, and they were introduced externally in Islam. Thinking in this way to be totally wrong, baseless, and against any kind of evidence. All spiritual stages which we read and know about the awliya and salihin, and all spiritual states of the hearts, spiritual states of the spirits, and the spiritual states of the inner selves, and spiritual states of the secrets and secrets of secrets, whatever we read in their lives, was in fact in existence in the days of Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself. And we can easily find these states and conditions in the lives of the companions. So these are the roots and origins where tasawwuf, spirituality, suluk and tariqah and haqiqah has emerged from. So it is not an innovation. It is not a new addition to Islam in the later centuries. No, these are the states and conditions which were practiced and which were achieved and attained by the companions in the days of Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his glorious presence. This is the second thing. That's why I am quoting this lesson of spirituality from a book written by a great Imam of Hadith and Fiqh, known as a Salafi Imam, and he is a great Imam of Al-Fiqh al-Hanbaliyya. And nobody denies his authority, Ibn Qudama. As he is a great grand Shaykh of Allama ibn Taymiyyah, and great grand Shaykh of Allama ibn al-Qayyim, and great grand Shaykh of Allama Hafiz ibn Kathir. Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam recited this verse to his companions, and he says, فَخَرَّ أَحَدٌ مِّن صَحَابِهِ مَغْشِيًّا. There was a one young Sahabi sitting in the company of Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He fell down and he became unconscious. He had a wajd. He had a wajd. He became unconscious. All of a sudden he fell down on the floor. Just on the sama, in hearing of this Quranic verse. Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam never said, "What are you doing? What has happened to you? What is this kind of activity?" No. He realized that this is a state of spirituality. So Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam got up. فَوَضَعَ النَّبِيُّ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم يَدَهُ عَلَى فُوَادِهِ. Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam placed his holy hands on his heart. فَإِذَا هُوَ يَتَحَرَّكُ. And he started trembling like a fish. When Holy Prophet ﷺ put his hand on his heart. And Holy Prophet ﷺ said, "Ya Fatah, qul la ilaha illallah." فَقَالَهَا فَبَشَّرَهُ بِالْجَنَّةِ. Holy Prophet ﷺ, while he was in a unconscious state on the ground, he said, "O my son, say la ilaha illallah." And he recited, raised his voice and recited at the same time, La ilaha illallah. And Holy Prophet ﷺ said, "My companions, look at him. He is the person who will definitely go to Jannah." This spiritual state and this state of ecstasy which he received in the company of Holy Prophet ﷺ became an evidence of being his Ahlul Jannah. Then companions asked, فَقَالَ أَصْحَابُهُ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم أَمِنْ بَيْنَنَا. He is still in us. He is not dead. He is still with us. And you are guaranteeing him for Jannah. Holy Prophet ﷺ said, قَالَ مَا سَمِعْتُمْ قَوْلَهُ ذَلِكَ لِمَنْ خَافَ مَقَامِي وَخَافَ وَعِيدٍ. This Jannah has been promised by Almighty Allah for those who fear in standing in front of me. And he had this God-fearing, and he achieved the state of ecstasy in the fear of Almighty Allah and in love of Almighty Allah, and he fell down and became unconscious. So this spiritual state of heart will definitely take him to the Jannah. This is reported by Imam ibn Qudama on authority of great Imams of Hadith.